My name is Melody Burdett. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and my major is fashion merchandising and my minor is journalism. When I got to college, I realized that we had a fashion board who did things like that, and my freshman year was the first year we ever did the fashion show, which was awesome. When I realized that that's kind of what we were about and that we had a really good retail school and that people kind of knew us around the city, then I was like, okay, this is cool, and then started just building from there. I am head of publicity for Fashion Board, which means that I'm in charge of, I guess, all that entails. I do press releases and I mock up a bunch of different designs for our tickets, for our posters, for anything that we need to publicize the event, which is Fashion Week. And we do it every year. This is my second one, second as head of publicity and third as a member of the Fashion Board. I like working with everybody and I like being kind of in the throes of everything. I work very well under deadlines because I'm a huge procrastinator, and that's basically how I produce my best work, is because I know I've got something coming up that I need to get done. But that being said, I've learned a whole lot about, I guess, organizational skills this year. My entire room is covered in Post-it notes, so I can kind of keep my life organized on different little blocks of color. I'm graduating in December, and basically they hand me a diploma in one hand and I give myself a ticket to New York in the other. I want to be up there more than I can possibly say. And it doesn't really matter if I'm like getting people coffee or Devil Wears Prada-ing it up for about 3 years, because I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes to be able to work in a magazine. I've always loved fashion. I feel like it's the most tangible form of like art. It's just really cool to see how in society people liberate themselves by changing the way that they look through the fashion that they wear. The industry has a huge reputation for being super catty and just very, I guess, shallow and ruthless and brutal. But if there's one thing that I did learn about listening to Amy Astley, the editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, and Zach Posen, and just everybody that I saw at Teen Vogue Fashion University, if there's anything I learned from all that, is that the people at the top, the really successful ones, are smart, driven, kind, creative people. And that, to me, was a huge sigh of relief, because you hear so much hype, you start believing it. And so, I mean, halfway through this year, I was wondering whether this was the right career choice for me, because I'm not catty, and I try not to be, like, I guess you try to stay humble for as long as you can. And with a lot of positive feedback, it's difficult sometimes, and it's very public, and I know I'm going to meet people that are not going to be all sugar and rainbows, so I'm going to have to prepare myself for that. But it's definitely taught me to grow up a little bit and to kind of fight for what I want to. So, I mean, I guess with anything in your life, you're going to have to fight for what you want. But in this industry, I'm just going to have to fight a little bit harder, and maybe with the stiletto in my hand.